Gotta get close.
Just a tiny bit far side.
Hey, now you see the answer to this.
Give me glass. Give me bifocal.
All right.
I wasn't sure about
I think she is on his way, but we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. There's a sign-up sheet for attendance that's going around. Sign your name. Today's November 6, 2013. It's 7 p.m. and we're at 504 Hitchcourt. Reading of minutes. I really didn't make any notes. I figure posting up the YouTube site is probably good enough. And I'm sure all of you had a good watching our meeting, all 2 hours and 10 minutes of it. But it's better than any summary. So those of you that were there last time, I'm sure you took your own notes and have your own recollections.
So would it be proper to make a motion to accept the YouTube video as minutes, as a record meeting?
I think we can do that. Make a motion.
Can I make a motion to accept the YouTube video as?
Second that.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, let's get to the executive committee report. I guess we kind of need to officially decide if we want to make Wednesday night our regular meeting. It looks as though everyone can make it on Wednesdays.
There's some chairs.
Hey, Chief.
Hey, what's going on?
Find your chair, man.
I never really saw a post that said, hey, it's here, until I delved down.
Yeah, it wasn't on the regular Facebook, you actually did have to go.
See, I got ice.
Well, you can click on the minutes.
Just go around. There's a refrigerator every time I put it on here.
Yeah, I had to search for
Just
it.
don't leave it.
Okay, well,
He'll drink it, he will.
I will.
Smoking his crack, he'll drink the mirror.
There was a little bit of confusion about where the meeting was. I did
Meeting is not at Troy's house.
on where I posted up the meeting agenda of the address, but next time I'll go ahead and make a separate post so there isn't any confusion.
Is it on Facebook where you're posting?
That's kind of our best, I think, way to reach out.
Website, and it was never getting up, so.
Well, not right now, but, okay, so.
Boz, can you post it to the club website as well?
We're going to have to, somebody's going to have to do that, yes. My plans for the website are to get the Facebook feed on the front of the website to help with, so that there's not a lot of double, triple duty. But I will endeavor to make that happen so there is no confusion. But I will reiterate that the Facebook is so convenient and everybody's pretty much on it except for a few people, that it will, for the foreseeable future, be our
Nerd.
I did speak to, or Heath let me know, Heath Newton, that he can't make it Wednesday nights because of Bible meeting. So I need to talk to him and find out if he wants to be able to make it. Then maybe we should think about changing it to Thursday. I want to find out how interested he is about being active. He's very active right now. Whether or not he wants to actually be at club meetings, I'll find out. He's a very busy man. The MOU renewal is coming up. I'm meeting with the county on November 15th about the contract. And they also want to discuss Arrowhead at that point.
MOU, what does that stand for?
Memorandum of Understanding.
It is our contract with the county. It is posted on Facebook for everyone to read as a document, and I encourage everyone to read it. The online calendar, our Google Documents site, is actually under Chad's name, Chad Parker. So when you click on there and go in there, look, it says "Welcome Chad Parker," not "Welcome New Hanover Disc Golf Club." So I think what I will do, if no one has any objections, is just open us up a new account so that it's officially a New Hanover Disc Golf Club account on YouTube, on Google, and post our meetings and stuff, therefore, on that hereafter.
Will you be able to link it to the website, Boz?
Yeah. Will I be able to?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't see any problem. Right now, Google, the site that Chad set up is linked to the calendar, but Google doesn't really do Google Documents anymore. They've kind of switched over and have a whole new thing.
Mm-hmm.
It still works. It's not a problem. I can get in there and do stuff right now if I need to. and budget report. Dave, would you like to entertain us? For a second?
Yeah, after I dropped all my stuff, yeah, give me a second.
You don't.
I got
Back here making messes.
I got a club, the box, cash box update.
You got
too,
a
if
cash
you
box?
want-
Sweet.
If you want the update on it. Have the numbers here.
Can you guys move in? Let's move in a little bit, finally get in front of
Boss.
move in.
While you're doing that real quick, and I'm sure y'all call about this, you can give me the clip notes. But when you do get the meeting, we don't move meetings on Wednesdays.
Well, that's a good question.
Come on up.
Well, go ahead. That's okay. You really. Keith, we'll let Keith figure that out. If we want to move it to Thursday or Tuesday, or if we want to move the meeting night to Thursday night.
Or maybe not having this 3 or 4 months. So
Sure.
important.
You guys can look at this.
Well, during the winter months, we do Wednesday night on the winter months. And we can switch up. We can have some part of the year on Thursday night and have some part of the year on Wednesday night. Right now, the Arrowhead doubles is on Monday night, so we're all clear with that as far as the schedule goes. Go ahead, Dave.
We started out with $1,642.70. There's a cash box, or not a cash box deposit. There's a new membership deposit that I haven't made. I was wanting something like $300, somewhere around there. Ish.
It was $270 that I brought.
$270.
Yes, sir.
So that'll go into next month's budget. So whatever you see here, add $270 to it. And that's where we're really at. So we had one credit for $41.58. That was a Home Depot return. It stems from the Holly Tree project. The locks that I bought did not work on the disc catcher baskets. And I bought some other stuff that I was hoping to use, but when it really boiled down to it, we didn't need it. So I returned that. So $41.58 is a credit. Home Depot, we did spend $62.94 on the original purchase. That was for locks, rebar, and concrete. Then I returned $41.58, and I spent $35.25 for locks that would fit the disc catcher baskets. So the total price for the Holly Tree Elementary project was somewhere around $98. Now, once I get the receipt from you, then I can go to Heath. Heath is going to reimburse us for that $98.
Right.
Then we wrote two checks, check number 526 and check number 527. 526 was written out to the Greenville Disc Golf Club. That was a reciprocation sponsorship to the Downey's Players Cup, reciprocating from what they gave us for the Azalea. Same thing with 527 was through the Onslow Flying Disc Association, $50 reciprocation for the Fall Disc Golf Classic. So you take all that, you add it up, you subtract some stuff, you end up $1,486.09 plus the $270 that we'll have for next month, plus whatever Mr. Cheese got right here.
Yeah, so we started out, cash box was $32, or 38, I'm sorry. The cash box was $38 previous to the last monthly. We had 2 new members, so it was an additional $40. There was, we matched the juvenile diabetes fund of 21 to make it 42, so that was 21 out of the box. The total ace pool is $196, so $10 of the total $21 to the ace pool went to the club. There's a total of $147 in the cash box. I need to request a couple of purchases: colored paper, ink, index cards, and pencils.
I've got colored paper for you, we don't need to buy that.
Okay,
So I got a bunch
scratch
of
off the
from
colored
Azalea.
paper. He's got some azalea left over.
Okay, no problem. That's part of regular club business.
Mhm.
Make those purchases and bring the receipts in at the next meeting.
You
Just
got
use
it.
and use the cash in the cash. I would suggest to use the cash in the cash.
Yeah, I'll
box.
just use the cash box, and I'll just give you the receipts afterwards so that everything balances.
That's fine. Just a quick note on that, as we're going to be having more tournaments, more doubles, we're basically going to be doubling the number of tournaments we have. It looks like a lot of people want to run separate doubles or in a separate monthly out at Arrowhead. Kyle's very interested in that. So we'll figure out a procedure to keep just enough in the cash box, $40 or whatever it is, to run each. We don't want to get an excessive amount of cash in the cash box. We want to try to make those deposits as soon as possible.
I would suggest that each tournament have their own cash.
Cash box, that's
There's
not a bad
no
idea.
need for us to be driving all over this county trying to get a cash box to somebody. start them off with a budget, give them $40 to make change, and then they should be able to create a a financial report just like I
That's a
have.
good point. All right, thank you, Dave, for that. Thank you, Chief, as well. And
Sweet.
all right. Membership. I'd like to welcome these new members to the club. Mr. Kyle Longworth, Jeff Collins, Rob Kudemeyer, Stephen Rourke, John D. Graham, Wayne Porter, Max Porter, and Christopher Richards.
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
At last count, and I'll go through the paperwork again, but at last count, it looked like we had garnered 22 new members this year alone. That's pretty incredible. Eric Ross I was going to meet him on Sunday, and he bailed early on me, but we're going to get together. He will be joining. He is from the Charlotte area, is that correct, Dave?
That's correct.
Okay. And also I have a quick question. I noticed Greg Davis, there was a note on his membership form that he still needed to collect his disc. Does anyone remember, you remember Dave? Do you know if he got his disc?
No,
Okay.
you did not get
I'll give
any
him a
membership
call.
back.
He didn't get anything from the membership package?
You got a tag.
He did get a tag?
So he did get part of his membership package.
He got his tag.
So he got half of his membership package.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. That brings us to the next order of business, bag tags. We ran out, which I think is wonderful and bad at the same time.
That's 70 that we sold. That's more than we've ever sold ever.
I know. It's
Great.
amazing. Well,
It's a good
I'm
thing.
assuming that means we have at least 70 members then. So John Graham, Eric Ross did not get their membership bag tag. So, Dave, when do we typically order our next year's bag tags?
Usually takes Paragon about a 2-week turnaround.
Okay. So we'll order those over the next month, over the next few weeks, and go ahead and get those in. And I guess we'll probably order 100 this time. Or should we order more?
I think 100's a good number. You really, that's the thing. You gotta make that order.
I think 100's a good number.
You gotta make that order correct. You overbuy, you lose your profit.
Well, one thing also is the duplicates, so when you buy 100, you're really buying like 110 or 120 for, all the blue tags that get lost or tag. I mean, because right now I've got probably 30 extra duplicate tags.
They threw those in for free.
Oh, did they? Oh, well, that's nice. They were free, but you got to keep that in mind to.
Okay. Well, then
What she's talking about is normally people lose tags. Doesn't matter if they lose the 35 tag. Nobody usually is too upset about that. But if you lose the number 1 tag, people are going to get upset about that. So we usually buy like 3 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, and then kind of just go from there.
Do we ever order blanks? Just need to take a magic marker and write on them?
Oh, I mean, you certainly could. I'm sure. I don't think that would be a problem at all. Matter of fact, I've got blank galores left over that are the old school tags. So if somebody loses one, they'll just get a ghetto tag for losing their tag. Maybe that'll be the motivation not to lose it.
We use those blanks for these new members don't have theirs.
I think we should.
Is that fairly easy to do?
Whenever you guys are ready to play for the number 1 tag, just let me know. 'Cause
Yeah, we're almost there. Give them one to give them to
I got 2 of them.
Yeah, 4 or 5 of them.
That's 11.
Okay, so we'll endeavor to get those blanks to either
Make it
Chi or
30.
Fig or me so that we can distribute them. We don't really have a membership committee yet, again, but our active and inactive membership lists is now becoming more important because obviously we have to keep records of who's showing up at meetings. We have to keep our attendance policy. It is something that I think should be posted up to Facebook and the website as well. We should have that information available to the club for whatever it may need as well as the public. It's also a sign of recognition. You are important and you're a member. And Jeff Erickson brought up a good point about our sponsor contracts. Moving on to number 5 there. At one point there was a sponsorship contract. I'm not sure what happened to it, but you have 4 people you saying that are in the wings who are very interested in becoming a sponsor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a realtor, he just wants me to send him information, so.
Okay, well, I will, unless somebody wants to draft up, again, a contract for us to approve. It has to be legal and say we're gonna do what we're gonna do. And, it's also been suggested that perhaps we don't use the lifetime membership formula, that we think of maybe going to a 3 or 5 year or 10-year type formula. So I'd like to just quickly ask if anyone has an opinion on that. And Jeff, tell us what you were saying.
Yeah, well, I just think that, you know, again, we gotta think about the young people that are gonna be doing this in 20, 30, 40 years from now. And, you know, a lot of businesses will close down and you'll be able to take them down, but we wanna be able to almost have a residual income off of these. And I spend a lot of time on disc golf course review, and most of these bigger golf courses have a side that tells what the hole is doing and a side for an advertisement that can be easily changed. So I think we need to go in towards that mode versus giving somebody a lifetime. Again, what the price would be, you know, a 3-year contract and paying $100 a year. You know, if they still, for $500, I think they would get like a 10-year contract. You know, that's a long time for your average restaurant to stay open.
You say you want to go 10, maybe 5?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe even have it where they can do 3, 5, and 10. Because if we've got a spot on that tee box where we can interchange who the advertiser is and who the sponsor of that hole is, 3, 5, 10-year contracts, that'll bring in somebody who may go ahead and, you know, again, exactly what the financial part of it would be. You know, if they have a 3-year contract, $300. 5-year contract, $75 per year, basically, which would be $375. Is that right? Did I multiply that right?
So
And then
you want them to pay yearly?
No, I'm just thinking so that you can
Per year?
Yeah, as you're giving it to them, say, look, you know, you're paying $75 a year for this advertisement, or you know.
So if you want 3 years, then
3 years, it would be $100 a year. But you know, yeah, definitely you want to get, especially on the 3 and 5 year contracts, you would want all that money up front.
absolutely. And are you suggesting new T signs?
Well, again, they're the ones that we have out at Arrowhead are, you know, the bottom of the barrel that Innova sends out there.
Right.
So I know that I've talked to.
So are we talking about Arrowhead? Or are we talking about? We're talking about
I'm
Arrowhead.
talking about anywhere. So whenever, you know, I'm trying to, you know,
Sure.
I'd rather see Castle Hayne doing the same thing. Again, this is New Hanover County Disc Golf Club. So
right.
wherever it goes, you know, again, 20 years from now, you know, the kids that, you know, are playing out at Holly Tree are going to be sitting in a meeting like this. And, you know, I think that they should have some residual income. Again, they might be raising the price to, you know, $150 a year for a 3-year contract. Right. So, again,
what about
you know,
what about the companies that have been marketed that you'll have a lifetime membership if you buy this in?
their grandfather did.
Right, for sure. But then they hear, oh, well, we could have gotten a 1 year or a 2 year afterwards. I mean, I'm just saying, you know,
If they do, I'll handle that.
I don't
Right.
think they have a problem.
I think it's a good idea.
With it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think we'd be trying to go for a 1 year. I think that might be a little bit, you know,
Little
expensive.
short-term.
I mean, yeah, I mean, unless, you know, to get them to pay $200 for a 1 year.
I think it's a good idea, for sure.
Well, what we did was charge $300 initially and then $50 a year thereafter. As long as they pay, they stay on the same.
There's $300 for 1 year and then $50.
$300 initially and then $50 every year thereafter to keep it there.
Okay.
So in the end of 3 years, you make $450 off of that sign.
Okay. Well, I'm going to draft up a contract and I'm going to put a 3, 5, and 10 year clause in it. The $75 per year sound like a good number.
Well, I mean, you got the shorter the contract, the higher the dollar per year amount.
Well, I was going to say, you sure you want to go 75, maybe 100?
Is the county going to allow us to do this?
Yeah, it sounds like we have a
We're
product
a
on this.
nonprofit organization. We can still, you know.
We're selling advertisement in a public park. I mean,
Mhm.
is it something we should maybe ask?
Maybe we should. I never saw a problem with it, but I will ask because
Haven't we
want to
already
get
been
it
doing
up.
that?
Well, we are at Castle Hayne. We're most definitely not doing it at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just like, and again, I've been involved with the county and the youth sports since 1997 when my son first started, and we would sell advertisement to where we would go out to Ogden Park and just put up a 4x8 banner, you know, on that one day while we were there.
Right.
Sponsors are part and parcel of the sport. They help the sport move forward. We really couldn't do a lot of the things we do without sponsors, whether it's an individual, a person, or their business. I'll talk to the county and make sure that we're clear from a legal standpoint. That's very important. Thank you,
For
Dave.
sure.
Thank you, Jeff.
I think you should add a 1 year in there too. Just because if you say, look at 1 year is $200, but you go a little bit longer, it's cheaper. It makes them want to buy the cheaper thing as well,
That's a good
from a
point.
good like selling perspective.
Okay.
The only thing
Even though
is,
you're not going to sell it, but it makes the other ones easier to sell.
It's a great
the more you buy,
idea.
the better the discount.
it's a great idea, but my only response to that would be somebody's going to have to go every year to that business to collect the money. And at the end of 1 year, you're going to have to either take the sign down, replace the sign.
Yeah, but if it's $250, it's going to be worth it.
Saying, well,
Could be worth it, you know, again, especially if we try to, you know, find a design of a sign that definitely makes it easy to replace that advertisement on there.
yeah, that if you find a sign, that makes sense.
The ones at Curry Beach look like they're pretty easy to change.
Southern signs, look you right up, whatever you want.
Yeah, I've talked with the guy at Southern Signs too, but I've also talked to the family monuments, which builds headstones and stuff. And he's willing to almost even buy 2 different holes from us and
To
you
get
know,
that
start
work.
and start kicking out monuments out there, just like they have at Muni. If you guys have drove down and past Muni, they've got ones that are this high, and I'm sure he's not going to be dishing out those. But I talked to him about some that were 2 feet. So
Right.
again, out at Arrowhead, we don't necessarily need a shape of the hole, because we should be able to see all the baskets just about from the tee box anyway. So, but doing it out at Castle Hayne, I'm sure that this guy would be willing to do stuff out there as well. I'm not just going after. I'm thinking overall again, just like I said.
But Arrowhead
yeah,
needs sponsorship. I mean, Arrowhead needs.
Yeah, we need to
something,
get some money in up there, right away. Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the Communications Committee. I have spoken to Russell. He's a website guru, and asked him opinions and information on some stuff. Does anybody have any interest in maybe helping us get the website sort of into shape? Does anyone have any website skills?
Just took a class on building websites for the hospitality industry.
George's an HTML master, aren't you, bud?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
I have minimal. I have some pretty decent website skills, but
Well, not master, just kind of.
But you know how to do it, though, right?
Yeah.
I think if we can, it doesn't have to be on just one person.
I mean, who's providing it? Is it Weebly? Is that who's the
We have a server
We have
taking care of
in-house.
it.
We have in-house hosting.
So anyone who has an inclination, and like I said, I don't want the website to be an anchor and chain around anybody. I don't want it to be something that you've got to spend 4 or 5 hours a week doing. It's going to take an initial burst of work to get it to where I want it to be. And then it'll be relatively self-maintaining after that, except for just a few things which can be spread around 2 or 3 people.
Can I say one thing on that?
Sure.
We should get something on there now. Something that says Arrowhead monthly has been moved to Arrowhead September 3rd. We need to at least be more up to date on there. Just even if it's just posting, when the next meeting is going to be. Look ahead of time and say it's going to be December 5th, Wednesday, December 5th, and post that meeting.
That's where it's got a place for all of that, and it just needs to be updated.
That's what I'm saying. But somebody should get on there and do that right now. We shouldn't be 3-4 months behind like that. That's.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Has anybody from the last meeting punched up a little flyer for Heath at Cape Fear Games advertising our Facebook site? Okay. That's something that I'll go ahead and take care of. I got a call from the Star News a few weeks ago and did a phone interview with a lady, which was kind of the capstone on the Holly Tree Elementary project. She did a real nice job and wrote up a nice article for us in the newspaper. And as a lot of you know, it was also posted online. I think we really reached out and touched a lot of people and gave them some good information about what we're doing. There was one negative reaction to it. A guy got on there and kind of basically threw us under the bus as a sport. But a lot of people went on there and defended us, and
most people did it professionally.
Yeah, and I think that this guy was way over the top. And I went on his Facebook site and saw that he does a lot of complaining about government and community and county this and schools. So I didn't think too much of it. But I do want to say that, you know, we do need to, it's something that I need to keep kind of tabs on, because one person who's very angry about something can turn into a problem. And if there's one person out there screaming about something, then I, at least me as the president, need to pay attention to what this guy's doing. He claimed that the lady over by hole 17 who got a disc in her yard, that she had to move because if she feared for her life.
So is she a renter?
I don't know.
See, that's
that's what I'm saying. This guy is probably way exaggerating. I doubt that's the reason that she moved.
But if she did move, it is a very, very good thing, because she was the only person that was. She went to the county commissioners. She went to the county parks.
Did?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, she was complaining to Tara and Andy every 7 days. That was one of the biggest things that we almost lost. Hole 17 and 18 because of her.
Yeah.
So with her being moved, that's a good thing. I hate that she had to relocate, but her being gone is a good thing in the long run.
But it does bring a point to light that within the confines of course design, we certainly have to be sensitive to boundaries. Harold told me to try to maintain at least a 50-foot boundary between anyone's property lines, and we're very much closer to that, I think.
I don't know. There's 50 feet of boundary there. It's just unfortunate that the shape of that hole tends for amateurs to saw it off and go right in that lady's backyard. But I mean, I don't know if you guys have looked. I mean, it takes a really bad shot to get over there. There's a lot of trees between the tee pad and that lady's house. So. But you know, like Harold says, imagine the worst shot possible, and then imagine one even worse.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Probably a bad upshot.
I guess.
Yeah, that's
I guess where I'm coming from is that the county it is an issue. It's on the county's radar about stuff. So there's going to have to be a solution about that, so that we don't have any more future run-ins. We really don't need the publicity. I'm going to skip new disc artwork. I don't think anyone here really. I did talk to Hope, and she sounded interested about maybe throwing something together for us. So we'll see how that comes out. Your idea, Jeff, about the scorecard and the hot dog. Have you gone any further with that, or?
Well, not until I get a sponsorship.